Hi, my name is Janice. I'm a Thermomix consultant and I'm here to demonstrate the TM6 and I'm going to do a beef taco recipe which uses some of the functions and attachments that come with your TM6. So we're going to do beef tacos. So I've got it saved to my week. And this is what we're having for tea tonight. Okay? So it says to start cooking, and it starts off, and we're going to grate the cheese. So we've got 200 grams of cheddar. Those of you that own the new cutter, you can grate the cheese in the new cutter attachment. For those of you that don't, this is the way that the guided cooking gets us to grate the cheese. So we pop it in the bowl, lid on, and then we're going to 3 seconds on speed 7. Right. And then we transfer it into a bowl and set aside. That was 3 seconds. I'm pretty sure the next step is to wash the bowl. Yes, so we're going to clean and dry the mixing bowl. So I'll do that and I'll be right back. Righto, so I did that a little bit the wrong way around. What I'm actually going to start off with by doing is making some taco seasoning. Now my taco seasoning, I've rinsed the bottle out. There was not much left, and we're going to start with a new batch. So if we go into, no, we don't want to do that. We're going to go back to here, cancel that recipe, yes, and we'll come back to that in a minute. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back into my week, and we're going to select the taco seasoning. Okay? So, and then it says start cooking. So what I've got to do is I've got to find where I put my measuring spoons. Here we go. So it says to start off with 20 to 40 grams of chili powder. I am only going to put the 20 grams in, or I might even put less, because I've got kids that are going to be eating this. Oops, I've got to tear that. Okay. So I think that is more than enough chili powder. Okay, now we want 1.5 tablespoons of garlic powder, or 1 1/4 tablespoons. So that is this. Have I got garlic powder? Tell me I've got garlic powder. That's garlic powder, yes. Now I need my teaspoon measure. Rightio, we can't find it. Let's not mess around with that. I've got a 1/2 teaspoon. It says 1 1/4 teaspoons. Tablespoon, so that's 1 tablespoon, 1 teaspoon. 1 1/4 tablespoons of onion powder. And then 2 1/2 teaspoons. Okay, and then we need 1 1/4 tablespoons of dried oregano. And 2 tablespoons of paprika. I'm using sweet smoked paprika. 2 tablespoons of cumin seeds. Tablespoon of sea salt, which I've got hidden under here. A tablespoon of dried chili flakes. Now I'm only going to put, I am going to put some in, but I'm only going to put like that much in because once again, even though I don't mind a little heat, I have got young ones that are eating this. Okay, and then some black peppercorns. It says a tablespoon of black peppercorns. And they're optional. Oh, hang on. So we're only going to put a few of them in. So one of the good things about the Thermomix is, as with all recipes, you can adapt. So now we're going to pop the lid on. And we're going to turn it to speed 10 and we're going to mill those spices into a fine powder. Next, and we're going to put it in a container. Right. I'm going to put this into this container here. And I find with your Thermomix, instead of buying all your different spice blends at the supermarket, if you know, there's some recipes on Cookie Do, there's lots of other recipe sites. I mean, we've got Skinny Mixes and the Recipe Community, and there's more than that. That's all I can think of off the top of my head that offer. I don't know if this is going to fit me here. Different recipes. I must have only made a half batch last time. I'm going to use a fair bit of this in this taco seasoning, in this taco mince, so I will find a container to put this into for now, and then I'll tap that down. Look at this. Rightio. So now we're going to return to this recipe, which was the tacos. Start cooking. So we've already grated the cheese, and we've done that. And okay, I might give that mixing bowl another clean, and I'll be right back. Okay, so we've washed and dried the mixing bowl. Now it wants us to toss in 2 garlic cloves, so I've just got a few little ones there. They're very small, those ones. And we're going to pop the lid back on, and we're going to mince the garlic. That's 3 seconds, speed 7. Okay, so we're not going to scrape the sides of the mixing bowl. Next, and we're going to add 200 grams of brown onion cut into wedges. So I've cut it into wedges like that. Okay, next I want 20 grams of extra virgin olive oil. Okay. Now we're going to put the lid on. And then we're going to use the splash guard. So this splash guard comes with your Thermomix when you purchase the Thermomix. The splash guard is one of the accessories that is included. Okay, and then we're going to cook it for 4 minutes, maximum temperature, using the sear mode. So when you're using the sear mode, this means it's browning and caramelizing your onions or your meat or whatever food you're cooking. So, and if you listen, you can hear it sizzle. It's still cool. Once the bowl gets hot, these lights turn red. And so it's just starting to sizzle now. It's going to give a little stir. Turn the food around so it can brown on all sides. Rightio. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put away all these spices, and while we're waiting for this to cook. Okay, we've only got a few seconds left to go. It actually smells divine. The smell of frying onion and garlic is very, very delicious. It's nearly done. Okay, so next. So now we've given them a bit of a fry up. I'll just show you the browning. You can see that little bit of browning on the bottom. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put the lid back on with the measuring cup, and we're going to give these onions a bit of a chop. 4 seconds, speed 5. So they're still quite healthy pieces of onion in there, but we're going to add half our mince. So we've got 500 grams of mince. We're only going to add half it to start. We're only going to cook it half at a time, so we don't boil it. Rightio, next, some more olive oil. to saute off this next lot of beef. Okay. It says to place the splash guard. We've just got to say done to say that we have actually got the splash guard on there. And then we're just going to put it into the sear mode. So we'll cook that mince for 5 minutes, transfer it into another bowl, and then we'll do the second half. So I'll be back in a minute. Okay, 10 seconds to go on that first lot of mince. I've got a bowl here. Okay. Next, it just says to now transfer this mince into a bowl and set aside. I'll just show you that colour in the bottom. That's what gives you all the delicious flavour in your mince. So next it says to add the rest of the mince. Right. And another 20 grams of olive oil. Next, and then to pop the lid back on with the splash guard in place. Say yes, I've done it, and then cook this lot of mince for 5 minutes. So if you want to increase the amount of mince, then you just keep doing that until you get the amount of mince you want. So let's have a look at the tips. Oh yes, it says the tips on this one say to make your own taco seasoning, refer to the recipe. So that's what we've actually done. So continue. Okay. We'll leave that to cook. And I'll be back to show you the next bit. So I'm just waiting for the second lot of mince to cook. So now we're going to add this one back into the bowl. It's unlike me, I've made a mess everywhere. Next, and we want 50 grams of tomato paste. There is a recipe on Cookie Do to make your own tomato paste. I haven't actually made it yet. It's on my to-do list, but I haven't got there. Right. 70 grams of water. Tear that. There we go. Next, and then 20 to 30 grams of our taco seasoning. Alright. Okay, so now we're going to pop the lid back on. This time we're going to put the simmering basket on top. So because the temperature's going over 90 degrees, we put the simmering basket on top as recommended by Thermomix. So it's 3 minutes at 100 degrees, speed 1 with the blade in reverse. So we're stirring, not chopping. Okay. So let's have a look to see what's going to happen next. The very next thing they're going to tell us to do is to fill 10 to 12 taco shells with minced mixture, finely shredded iceberg lettuce, 2 tomatoes cut into cubes, reserved grated cheese and sour cream. Top with a squeeze of lime juice to serve. Rightio. So this is the last step. I've got, as is usual for me, I'm cooking tea, getting tea cooked a little bit earlier, and I'm going to pop it in the thermo server, and that will keep it hot for up to 2 hours. I mean, it's not even 5 o'clock yet, so yeah, it just gives me a bit of a head start on the evening, so we don't have to rush around trying to get tea on the table. I'll leave that to cook. That's our taco seasoning mix for next time. Rightio, half a minute to go, and I can clear up the mess, and then I'm all ready for tea. I've already chopped up all the salads and everything to go with. All I've got to do before everyone gets here is pop the taco shells in the oven to warm up. Next, rightio, I'll show you what this looks like. Give it a bit of the base a bit of a stir to get some of that browning off the bottom. So we don't want that to go to waste. If you can see that there. Yeah, oops, what I just threw it all over the floor. Excellent. So that's our taco mince. I'll take a few photos once we get the tacos all made up, and I'll pop a few photos up. Anyway, thanks for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it's given you some ideas of what you can use your Thermomix for. If you really like the video, give it a thumbs up. Please pop over and subscribe to my channel, and have a look at the other ones I've got there as well. There may be something else that would interest you. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.